I bet. About to be live. So cool. Welcome back to the Daily Dose, the number one daily morning mastermind for those trying to elevate and grow in your business, professional, and personal lives. Welcome back. It's a fantastic Friday, and we're gonna finish off the week on a super strong note. Let's hop right into it. Verse of the day. Deuteronomy 28:12-13. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. The Lord will make you the head, not the tail, if you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God that I give you this day and carefully follow them. You will always be at the top, never at the bottom. So that verse always just sticks out to me. Helps me to think about just how great God is and how amazing God is, and what we just need to do in order to succeed is simple, right? If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord, you will always be at the top, never at the bottom. And that's just what it is. We got to always try to be the best we can be. Of course, none of us is perfect, but we got to always strive for greatness in God's eyes. Boom. So the business topic for today is going to be the art of negotiation, which is huge, right? We always in negotiations in business. Really, we always negotiate in our whole lives, really, if you want to take it a step further. But just in the art of negotiation, here are a few key things to go off of to make sure that you're successful in negotiating. So we have you want to emphasize empathy and active listening. This is key. You want to be a real active listener whenever you're in negotiating, because the other person could say something that they want and you don't have to necessarily ask for it. You want to be paying attention to the things that they're saying so that you can use that whenever you are in negotiation, right? Want to make sure that you're listening. The next thing is labeling and mirroring. These are two different things, but kind of stuck them together because they're kind of similar. But labeling is when you're negotiating, you want to confirm that person's feelings, or you want to validate their feelings, rather. So whenever they're saying something, hit them with a, oh, it seems like you're this, or it seems like you're that, or I get the feeling that you feel like, right? And then that will confirm, or that will validate their feelings, and that will establish a sense of trust in the negotiation, right? Mirroring is when somebody's talking and you just repeat the last three words that they said as you start your sentence, right? So whatever they say, you say exactly what they just said, but the last tail end of it, and then that's how you start your dialect off, and that just kind of lets them know what you're doing. Mirroring also is speaking like the other person speaks. So that comes into, if you're talking with a fast talker, talk fast. If you talking with somebody with a certain, like whatever dialect that they use, you want to mirror that, right? So that they can feel comfortable talking to you and y'all are speaking the same language, right? Ask open-ended questions. Super important to not leave the conversation dead, right? You want to ask open-ended questions that will allow them to elaborate. So tell me about this. What happened here, right? All of these types of things is what would be the best outcome for you. How did this happen? Um, Try to stay away. But in the next thing I'm gonna go in it, but try to stay away, especially early in the conversation, um, as yes or no questions, right? You want to ask open-ended questions that will allow you to get as much information as possible. Next one is super important tactic. I got it from the book called Never Split the Difference, but it's called Create the Illusion of Control. And is put in parentheses, negotiate the no. So most people feel most powerful in a conversation, especially when they're negotiating or getting, like, if they're talking to a salesperson, when they're saying no. So you want to frame questions in the way that you're getting the response you want, but that person is saying no. That allows you to control the conversation, but it gives the other person a sense of control. So, like, if I'm trying to negotiate maybe like a real estate deal for a lower price, maybe I'll tell somebody, well, you wouldn't want to risk putting it on the market for that amount, and then it don't sell, would you? Right? And then they'd be like, no, right? That would be an obvious bad thing for them. And then so stuff like that, and that goes into researching. I didn't put that up here, but that goes into researching who you're about to negotiate with. Researching, doing a little bit ahead of time exactly what you're negotiating and this type of stuff you're gonna say and this type of stuff we're gonna talk about. But this is a huge thing, is saying stuff that gets them to say no, which makes them feel more powerful, but you are still in control of the conversation. The next one is gonna be being honest. This one is huge. Just be honest throughout the conversation. Let them know, like, okay, this is really what I want. This is really what I want the results of this negotiation to be. Tell some honesty about your life, right? You don't got to give away all your sauce as it pertains to what you're actually negotiating, but just be honest about who you are, what you bring to the table, um, and just establish that sense of trust and rapport. The next one is a major key, using tactical silence. A lot of times we can get into a situation when if we're not comfortable, we will ask for something and then follow it up with a whole bunch of other comments, right? Or we'll say something and follow it up with a whole bunch of other comments, trying to fill up the silent space and give the other person time to answer. The most One of the most important parts of negotiation is stating what you want, making that ask or making that offer, and then just being quiet. Let that awkward silence just sit there, right? Just do it, and it works. A lot of the time, you don't want to just keep. You don't want to over talk, because then you'll end up oversharing, and then you'll end up talking yourself out of a deal. Just let that awkward silence be there. Capitalize on it. Uh, and then the next thing, last thing, might be the most important, is understand that the other party needs something, right? It might not be initially what they say they want. That's why we do all these other steps, especially active listening. But understand that they need something, right? And you need something. And the biggest key to negotiation is you got to be prepared to walk away if it just doesn't work out, right? If it doesn't fit your terms or what you want. Um, you just got to be prepared to walk away, and that's the main key. So those are some tips on negotiating. Did anybody have any tips that they want to say that helps them, or chime in on that? Cool. So we'll hop right into the self-development topic. Self-development. And we're gonna be talking about overcoming burnout. This can be a huge thing when it comes to entrepreneurship, but also in our professional lives. Burnout is is upon us. We go hard a lot. We're trying to accomplish goals. We're trying to take care of our families. We're trying to do so much, and burnout can affect us. It can affect all of us. Some key tips to overcoming the burnout is set boundaries between work and personal life. Have a cutoff switch, right? If you say you're going to stop working at a certain time, stop working, and that means in your mind too, which can be extremely hard to do. Trust me, can be extremely hard to do, but that's one of the ways to help you overcome burnout, right? Is to really set that switch and be like, okay, I'm done working physically, mentally. The next thing is focus on the priorities when you're working, right? We can get burnt out by doing a whole bunch of mundane tasks that are not necessarily important to do. We want to make sure we're using our most mental energy or our most physical energy on the most important task. We don't want to waste our energy, you know, just doing stuff that we can do with a little energy, right? Because then when it takes the brain power to problem solve, critical think, we done exhausted our brain just doing a whole bunch of little stuff. So focus on your priorities first. Next thing, take breaks during work. Get up, go outside, take a walk, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to meditate. Just take a nap, right? Take breaks throughout the day that'll help you to stay balanced and allow yourself to recharge. Outside of that, prioritize self-care, right? Make sure you're getting adequate rest. Make sure you're doing the things that you need to make sure you feel recharged. Some of us are social people. We need to hang out with our friends. We need to hang out with our family. Some of us prefer to be alone, and we need to have alone time. Whatever it is that we need to do, prioritize it. And another thing that helps me a lot is reconnecting with your why. Sometimes when you feel burnout, you need to just remember why you're doing something in the first place. And that overall passion, that overall energy, and that overall mission will resonate back with you. And you'll get energy back that you need because you know you're doing something that's bigger than yourself. You're working on something that's bigger than yourself. Lastly, I got to hear you want to celebrate achievements. This will help you to remember what you've done and help you to see that you have been taking those steps to accomplishing your goals, and you're not just working like a hamster on the wheel, right? You have done things and you've taken steps, and you are on the pathway that you want to be on. So those are some major keys to overcoming burnout. Did anybody have anything that they wanted to add in on that piece? Cool. Well, like I said, today is Friday. It's been a great week. Um, God is great. Hope everybody have a very blessed weekend, and we'll hop right back up here Monday, 7 a.m.